Hello, good afternoon. My name is Charlotte Foster Williamson, and I am the founder of Atlanta Dance Central. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. And I would just like to take a special moment to kind of talk about our mission at ADC. So our mission is to educate, to empower our students to become the very best versions of themselves. And in thinking about how we fulfill this mission, I kind of went down a rabbit hole of, well, how does one become the best version of themselves? What are the things that we would need to do? And what could we do in the dance classroom? And during that, I uncovered some sort of interesting things that I feel that dance has taught me that maybe are not that obvious. Like, for instance, an obvious one might be discipline and a sense of teamwork and a sense of professionalism. But some maybe not so obvious ones are the concept of ancestry. So dance is an art form that has been passed down over generations, and it matters who your teachers were. If you study dance history, this person that has had these teachers dances this way, and it influences who you are. And that kind of made me apply that to my own life on, again, maybe a little later than I wanted to, but, what were my grandparents like? Who were they? Who were they as people? And I didn't necessarily get to kind of dive into that until right at the end of their lives. But it was something that I thought we can share that with the students. We can make that an important part of your family, and where you came from matters. Another thing that might not be so obvious is the concept of forgiveness, both self-forgiveness and forgiveness to others. So when I was growing up, I was competing for the grand prize of a plastic trophy, ta-da! And some ribbons. But it was really important to me that we would be the winners. And when you go on stage, sometimes things isn't perfect. And sometimes I was the person that messed it up for everyone that kept us from winning the trophy. And sometimes it was my best friend or someone I didn't even like that the company did it. But regardless, we had to move forward and we had to forgive quickly and move on. And not hold grudges because we're going on stage again in basically 10 minutes to do our next dance. So that's an interesting one too. The third one that I think is really important is the concept of the show must go on. So we know stage, okay, something happens, the show must go on. We're not gonna stop the show and say, oh, someone's hat fell off, too bad. Or someone left a frying pan on stage, too bad, stop. That's not gonna happen. We're gonna keep going, right? No matter what. And I think that in life, we have obstacles like that as well. We have a diagnosis of an unexpected illness. We have, a curveball thrown over here. We don't make a team we want. We don't get what we want. We have all of those things, but the show must go on. We can't just stop living, and we can't just hermit ourselves, and we have to keep going. And that's something that I think has made me have a lot of grit. It also can be frustrating for people because I don't really take no for an answer. I've been told it's very hard to say no to me, because if you say no, then I'm like, okay, well, let me think about another solution of that, because the show must go on to me. So, and the very last one that I'm gonna share is the concept that growth is beautiful. And we know that, but it's also really challenging. And it's also really painful sometimes to grow. So I shared this with the dancers beforehand in their curtain speech, but imagine this, okay, roll with it. You're a caterpillar, okay? They're laughing because they heard this. Okay, you're a caterpillar, you're inching around, you're living your best life, you're loving it. Caterpillar is awesome. And then, this is not science-backed, by the way, I'm not a science teacher. So this is science according to Miss Charlotte. And that means that nature says, oh, no, that was nice, but we're gonna do something different, and we're gonna get into this cocoon, and this is what you're gonna go. You're like, no, I was fine, I was comfy over there. And nature says, no, you're getting in a cocoon. And so the caterpillar gets in that cocoon and it's like, ugh, this is terrible. I want to die. This is horrible. And finally, it changes into a butterfly. Just when it thought the world was over, it is transformed into something beautiful. And I think that that is what dance does. It's hard. You hear your dancer come home and go, oh, I was terrible today. But they really weren't. Every time they show up to class, they're taking one more step forward to their goals. It's just challenging. And now they are transformed into a butterfly. And it's time for them to fly. Thank you.